All right, well, the fact that emergency services are not considered essential services in Idaho may still boggle a few minds. It's something they have tried to change in the State House, they just haven't. The reason, without that essential designation, the state isn't required to fund emergency services, which is why we've seen several bonds and bake sales over the years to pay for local EMS agencies. This is especially a problem in rural Idaho, as we've highlighted before. But even in those places, they are seeing growth. And because of that, they've had to rely on the volunteers, and they're not able to keep up with the demand for fire and ambulance calls. Well, this year, lawmakers aren't trying to necessarily deem EMS essential, but they are looking to make a switch and how they are overseen, like where EMS is stacked in the state budget, or I guess in the state hierarchy. So I guess the question is, does moving them under a different umbrella, does that mean that they get funds from the state?
Yeah, that's a good question. Short answer, no, it doesn't mean they get more state funds, but the switch could help them find some additional funding opportunities. Currently, the Emergency Services Bureau falls under the state's Department of Health and Welfare, but House Bill 206 would transfer oversight of EMS over to the Idaho Military Division. Senator Carl Bierke, who is one of the bill's sponsors, says the Military Division already coordinates emergency management at the state and local levels, so they believe bringing EMS under the same roof will lead to better coordination and guidance for EMS across the state.
You have your local control with support of a system that will help you do what you need to do at a local control level, which is hopefully generate future funding streams and get the conversation around how do we provide that level of security for everybody in the state, that when they dial 911, they get the resources they need. And it shouldn't matter if you're, up in Kootenai County or down here in Ada County, you should have kind of the same expectation.
The bill does deem EMS critical to the life, health, and safety of Idahoans, but it is not essential. So this does not guarantee any additional state funds will go to EMS in the future. But lawmakers say this move would help kind of guide that conversation with military experts that deal with this every day, and hopefully help maybe give them some additional ideas of where they can find some additional funds. Okay,
I know we've talked about this before in other newscasts and here on the 208. Like, for example, was it Nampa that was trying to pass a bond?
Canyon County.
Canyon County was trying to pass a bond to cover because they're growing so much out there. What do they think about this bill?
Yeah, I believe their bond has failed 3 times now. We talked to them when that was happening. I also circled back with them this month specifically about this bill, and they weren't necessarily ready to comment. They want to see if this makes it off the Senate floor, which is where it's heading to. But other places like McCall and Boise County do favor a shift.
All right, we'll see what happens. Thanks, Aspen.